Welcome to Salestools. Here's a quick demo of how AI sales agents work. First, when you start, you go in and install your new company profile. So you can go in here and say, I am HubSpot. Put in HubSpot.com and then say save now. It will then automatically run an AI analysis of your company and prepare for a deep research, as you will see right here, to understand precisely details around your company, which you can modify. Then you can set up your ICP personas, for example, the location, tech stack, target industries, company, headcount, departments, and so on and so forth. You can also set up persona targeting. Who are you reaching out to? Who do you care about selling to? So you can put SVP sales, for example, senior VP of sales, and we can change him to become a champion or an end user as an example. So now I have decision maker, champions, and end users here, and then I can save it. You can also set up your reply handler, different versions for different outreach, and you can connect your knowledge base and define the tone. You can upload documents and run in the metadata, and you can attach use cases on replies to emails. You can put in your sales pitch, your objection handling, and you can add more of them, and competitive advantages over a competitor and why you're better. And you can also add your calendar so it automatically manages replies. You wouldn't need Calendly or HubSpot meetings anymore. The system, once somebody reply back with a time, will automatically run the sentiment and analyze and send the invitation with the Google Calendar, Microsoft Calendar, Teams, Zoom, or Google Meet, and so on and so forth. All you have to do is to give it a meeting title, the hours you're working that they can be booked within, and if a person come back without those times, it's going to suggest another time and book it for you. And of course, you can plan your holidays so you make sure you don't get booked when that happens. That's the AI library. That's the basic of a model. Now, if you want to create an AI agent, it's super simple. You can either, from your own context AI library, you can go in and you design it. Now we're going to call in the company profile, our ICP targeting, and the personas retargeting. Then the system will quickly run analysis of how many people are in companies are matching your criteria, and then how many are in each segment, how many days it will run, and then you go in and give it a name. So we call it here Salestools Demo. And then you can define here the details. Now, if I hit next, it's going to be very simple. You will notice my campaign size here again, but it will go in and just validate my setup based on my AI library, and I can adjust it if I want to change a little bit. Now, two things I can do here. I can make it signal based. That means I am only using intent data every time somebody within this segment is looking to install HubSpot, for example. I can subscribe to the intent data and then it runs every single day, or I can run a campaign on a regular standard. I can add deep research, or I can take it away. Deep research enable the system to run and uncover deeper pain points, and so on and so forth. And then I can hit next, and then I can design the campaign here. For example, a connection request, a LinkedIn message or email, or I can add multiple emails. And then basically it's going to build my campaign once I am ready. And then I build out the AI agent. It's that simple. I can run it both in autopilot or copilot. I can start immediately, or it can become event-based. I can put up my limits, how much it does per day. And then when it builds it, it will look something like this. If I add deep research in, just as an example, you will notice here, you select the data source in the top, that I can go in and change, for example, my campaign and add more steps. For example, I can send a new LinkedIn, email, check the mailbox, and then I give it a subject, and I'm going to say here, hey, first name, you're going to backslash, and then I can add a prompt. For example, describe details around company based on the, and then I simply just add it. I can also find AI prompts here and use them directly and modify them as I want. And I will show you an example based on what you have here. It's really that simple. And then you build out your campaign. Now, you can also chat with everything, and you can set up directly from Olivia in the chat your campaign right here, and you can create an AI agent without having to go through so many hoops, and everything becomes chattable. And then you go through the steps. It's super simple. Now, the next part is you can see what people and companies are visiting your website through the visitor tracker, and obviously the system can automatically reach out to them based on your ICP and library. Now, if you go into intent data, you can go in and say, okay, who is looking to install Salesforce right now, as an example, and then you update it. And you can also take in your ICP library again to make sure that it's only matching for who you should reach out to. And it takes a couple of seconds. You'll notice that the data here will change. Now, you see travel perk, have intent around Salesforce. I can see more details right here, and I can read the details as I want. And then I can add them directly to an AI agent and have the system do it automatically. My leads will always score based on the intent score, which will identify who's more likely to buy right now, and the system will automatically reach out to them. And you see if there's a phone number, mobile number here. Those are all the green ones. Now, in terms of integrations, you have HubSpot, Salesforce, everything's set up for you. You can do social selling, connect and post and comment on LinkedIn. And of course, you also have access to the entire prospector where you can search data based on mobile numbers. Again, you can put in your AI library to narrow down your criteria so you only find the right companies always. And you can narrow down if you like, but it will apply the filters automatically. And you can add them manually to a campaign if you like. And then the system will automatically manage all the replies, and you'll see them in your inbox once somebody replies, book a meeting, see your calendar, and they automatically go back into your CRM by the synchronization. We also enrich your data inside HubSpot and Salesforce automatically from our data set, so it is straight out of the box. That is a very short version of how Salestools work. And of course, if you run Copilot mode, you can go in and you can actually see all the steps coming out here. So let me just show you here in the standard view, and you can change the view how you like. But once you're in Copilot mode, you can see the next scheduled message, the next people are sitting here waiting for you, and you go through step by step, and you can just hit send now if you want to validate. And typically we do that to the very high intent leads, while the rest will automatically be sent out to. So book your demo today, get to learn more about Salestools and see how they can scale your outreach.